right, is everybody ready? Yeah! All right, now here we go. A one, a two, a one,
Let's get it on, everybody. What's happening? What's popping? Salutations. If you're watching us right now, happy Thanksgiving Eve. If you're watching us tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving. You're joined by myself, Cody, aka Touchdown There, and my very good friend, Mr. Tiggle Gritties. Brandon, what's happening, buddy?
Oh, what's good? We are live tonight, man.
It's weird, right? It's a different feeling, man. Look at us. Look at us stepping up our game. Both of us got microphones on.
We got mics, we got live streams. Man, we are figuring this podcast thing out.
I'm feeling official, man. How you doing?
I'm fucking great. How are you this week, man?
Man, I'm doing good, dude. It's a wonderful time of year. I feel like the Thanksgiving holiday is a good buffer between like the two really cool holidays. So this is a nice little stepping stone, in my opinion. But I'm stoked, man. My family's come to visit. I'm pretty excited for it.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I'll be with the girlies family this year. We're doing my family on Friday. So it's kind of our thing. We seem to do Thanksgiving here with her family and then Christmas with mine. Just kind of the flip flop, and it seems to work for best for us.
Got to make that balance, man. I get it. I definitely get it. It's been difficult for us because I moved away from home base, so now we got to really coordinate things. But luckily, mom and dad are heading north this holiday season, so I'm pretty stoked.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen some of my family in quite some time, so I think they're planning on coming out next year. So that'll be fun and exciting.
You guys go classic and do the turkey for Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Yep. Classic turkey. Usually at my parents, we brine the turkey, so it's really nice and moist throughout the turkey. It's not dry at all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nothing better, man. Have they ever asked you to carve the turkey? You
I
you ever been in charge of it?
I have before, not with my family, but Friendsgivings I've had to. What's up, Jordan? How we feeling tonight? I see you in the chat.
Jordan's here?
Jordan
What's
is
up,
in
my
the
guy?
chat. What's up, my guy? If you're here in the live stream, don't be afraid to drop a comment. If you have anything to input, we'll be sure to shout it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Drop your questions, drop your comments, and say what's up. And Brandon's the only one that can see them too. So it's all going to be a surprise to me.
I'm keeping an eye on it, don't worry. But yeah, I mean, so back to your question. I have carved a turkey. It was Friendsgiving in college. We did it. So I was I stayed out east in Rhode Island for Thanksgiving. Didn't come back until Christmas break. It was just a week, so ended up staying out there. Ended up going to mass with my family later after kind of everyone had left. But my friend group and I we did a friendsgiving the week before everyone kind of bounced out, and it was in one of our dorms, and kind of cooked a turkey at one of our buddies' apartments, and then brought it over to the dorm, and it was pretty pretty crazy. Carving a turkey isn't necessarily the easiest thing.
It's not, dude. It's
It
so
is
hard.
not. It is pretty damn difficult. I'll say that.
Like,
there were bits and pieces a little bit all over the place, but eventually I
Little
kind of got the
shredded
hang of it.
shredded turkey
And
sandwiches.
yeah, exactly. Eventually I got the hang of it, and from there kind of ended up making it work. So it was good. So I mean, at the end of the day, I was at a culinary school, so it did work. It was a pretty damn good
But at the
turkey,
end
I'll
of the
say
day, it
that.
tastes the same, right?
Pardon?
I said at the end of the day, it all tastes the same. I felt kind of the same way, like growing up with my family, like it was always like grandpa's job to carve the turkey. You know what I mean? Like the man of the
Right.
house, like I'll handle this. And then as grandpa got older, he kind of like bestowed that to my dad. And it wasn't until I married into my wife's family and started doing holidays with them. She's got a sister, so it's just all them. And I think last Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, before her dad comes to me and said, "All right, you're in charge. I want you to carve the turkey." I said, "Shit,
Pressure's
you
on.
sure? You sure about that?"
Pressure's on
Same
you.
thing, man. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. But I don't know. I think turkey's probably not at the top of my list for favorite things to eat for Thanksgiving, but the leftovers are where it's at.
The leftovers are where it's at. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Leftovers are pretty freaking lit. I do not mind Thanksgiving
Do you fuck
leftovers.
with cranberry sauce?
Dude, wait,
Real question.
here's the real question. Is it the canned cranberry or is it the the actual cranberry? Like,
Honestly, if you ask me, it doesn't make a difference because they're both disgusting. So
bro, no. I fuck with the canned jellied cranberry, bro. That
you're
shit
disgusting.
smacks. Put
I'm
that,
I,
cut a piece, put it into a fucking roll. Oh,
mm-mm.
put some turkey in there. Ooh, that's the best
Bro, no.
leftovers right
Oh my
there.
God. I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. That's so bad.
Oh, come on, man. Canned
No.
cranberry is where it's at. The other cranberry
Um,
that's like, yeah, I can't do that shit, but I can do the cans. Like
the can,
I
no.
can get down on cans, bro. The jellied, yeah, that's my cup of tea.
Fuck with stuffing.
Oh, by all means, yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. I mean,
I
here's
keep
the
it simple, man. I keep it simple. Turkey, mashed potatoes, maybe a good like green bean casserole. And that's
yeah,
about it for me.
I can't do the green bean casserole. Pass. I'll take a sweet potato casserole.
I love sweet potatoes.
Yeah, bro. Sweet potatoes, acorn squash. Ooh. Ho, ho. Have you had
Yes,
acorn
sir.
squash?
Like candied acorn squash.
That brown sugar, butter.
About it.
Oh, chef's
About
kiss,
it.
baby. That is the spot to be. But yeah, I mean,
Uh, if the food's not the best part about Thanksgiving, we got a ton of football coming up too, and we even get Black Friday football this week
wait,
too, which is sweet. We
Sunday is
get
gonna feel
Thursday,
a little light.
Friday, no games Saturday, but then Sunday, dude, what a weekend,
I mean, to be fair, Sunday's gonna feel a little light. Um,
right?
like it's gonna feel really light and it's gonna be a little weird.
Yes, yes, it certainly will. Really excited to talk about it though. Thank you everybody who's joining us right now. And if you're not, thank you for tuning in and happy Thanksgiving once again. Welcome back to the Get Sunday Covered podcast. We're going to talk about the same things that we always do. Weekly recap from week 11, another shakeup in the standings, a couple of really good games this week. And then we're going to touch on the week 12 preview. Brandon's got some really good bets. Seems to me that Brandon is on fire right now with his bets. So if you haven't been listening to that, pay attention because this man is making some money right now.
Hey,
And if you guys are listening right now, chime in, give us your questions. We're going to be here for a little while. It's going to be probably, I would imagine, a little bit of a longer episode. So let us know what's up. Let's enjoy this Wednesday night and probably get into it.
shout out Mama T in the chat. I see you. She actually
Well,
had
sure.
said, Cody, can't wait to be there. What about mixing turkey, mashed taters, gravy, green beans, and ranch dressing all together? Are you still about it?
Oh man,
LOL.
straight calling me out. It's calling me out. Mom, I love you. I'm so excited to see you. They are on their way up here tomorrow. So really excited for that. But she's calling me out. I used to
Ranch, bro.
yeah,
That's the thing that throws me
first
off in that.
what throws you out?
The ranch.
Dude, okay, so I'm gonna answer the question and first say yes, I am definitely still about it. You put ranch on anything and it instantly makes it better.
Uh,
But that used to be one of my favorite things was to take all of the fixings, shred the turkey, get some olives in there, some green bean casserole, all of it, mix it up in the mashed potatoes, and then just put some ranch on it, and just have like a shepherd's pie type of situation, and just munch it all in one, man. That way you don't have to separate any of your fixings. You just eat it all at once, dude. It's delicious.
I can't do that.
No, I know, and that's what everybody
That's not
says, man.
me,
I'm
but
absolutely not. I'm
by
not about
all
it.
means, you my friend can go for that.
But yes, Mama T, I am definitely about that. But we'll see what happens on Friday. I'm not sure.
Are you guys doing Thanksgiving Friday up there then?
Yeah, Mom and Dad are driving up here tomorrow, so they'll be on the road most of the day. So Friday is going to be the big dinner situation. So
There you
we're
go.
gonna
There you go.
join wifey's family and my family, and make Black Friday as far away from all of the crowds as we can.
It's understandable. Black Friday really isn't the same anymore though, like it used to be.
No, you can
Everything's
do it all
online
online.
nowadays. I mean, it's not the same.
Yeah, good. That's how it should be. Black Friday.
I
That's
agree. Um, all right. Well, with that being said, let's just jump straight into it. Let's jump into our weekly recap.
let's get it. What a week, eh? Some more shakeups, some good games.
Ooh, yeah, some more shakeups is indeed correct, and I mean there were some solid games this weekend. That's for sure. Some things came down to Monday night, myself included. Um, but man, there were some good matchups this week. I'll say that.
Yeah, there were. GSC continues to show how competitive this league really is. Because any given week, I mean, honestly, like all of these teams can pop off. And I think that's, again, exactly what happened here. Let's go ahead and jump into yours. We'll just start it at the top if you want. This is, man, the West is tight as can be at this point. It really is. I mean,
One game separates first and fourth.
yeah, I mean, it's impressive. Like, this could not be more fun to watch. Like, we're getting down into crunch time, and I know every single week, I'm sure you feel the same. I'm sure the other guys feel the same, but like every single week, every single game, I just have like so much anxiety watching these go down. I know, for your game, it didn't necessarily come down to Monday night, but watching that Philly and Kansas City game, rough start for Jalen Hurts, man. Like, this could have been a very
Rough.
different score for you,
Yes.
but you pulled out the dub. His team looked pretty good. Um, if I'm being honest, man, your lineup is stacked, and
Yeah.
I
The really the thing that kind of set me into kind of propelling me into a way better feeling going into Monday night was when Dallas threw up 22. And it was kind of funny because I'm sitting down with my dad-in-law and we're watching the Cowboys game. He's a Cowboys fan through and through. We're watching the game and I shit you not, I'm looking at him and I'm going, I could really use a Dallas pick six right now. That would be super helpful. And next play, first down, boom, pick six. I was like, and we were like, man, we should have probably bet that because it was like plus 1,200. So,
Dang.
yeah. But you know, can't be disappointed with it. All in all, I mean,
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
can't be disappointed with it. I only just won another friggin' week, and I find myself in first place in the league or
yeah.
second
But
place.
well,
Well,
the
I'm
thing
tired
that
of it,
worries
man.
me,
I'm tired
man,
of it. Your team's too
Burrow.
stacked.
Well, but here's the thing. Burrow's out for the season. I worry about Chase. Diggs has not
That's
looked
fair.
good the last 2 weeks. I worry about Diggs.
Also fair.
Those two worry me moving forward. Had I kept Mike Evans, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable. But
Yeah, that's what you get.
eh,
That's what you get.
yeah, exactly. I took a trade, and clearly I'm not getting the benefit out of it. And looking at Buffalo's schedule moving forward, I'm worried.
I
Josh
wouldn't
Allen
be.
needs to throw the ball to Stephon Diggs. We'll see how this week plays out with Jamar and the backup out there. Um, so we'll see how that plays out. I still think he'll
Yeah,
probably get it, 12 points or so, but I do worry about it.
I felt like it was an interesting week too, looking at, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown is about as consistent as they come.
Yep.
He's been fantastic for you. What was kind of an outlier to me was the Travis Etienne game. Um,
He's
I was
had a
listening
rough
to a
two
couple
weeks
of
as well.
podcasts, but yeah, I don't know what's your level of concern for ETN? Because this was, compared to what he's been giving you,
I'm just as
this was
worried. I'm just as worried with him as I am with Chase and Diggs, to be honest, which is I do have a little bit of stress from that. So we'll kind of see how that plays out as we go, and it'll be interesting to kind of see how things come down the line. Definitely hoping for more of a bounce back week this week, but yeah, I mean it's hard not to play ETN, Diggs, and Chase. I mean they have to be in my lineup.
you got to start him. Yeah, you
They
got to start him
they
every time.
exactly. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Putting them on my bench. The only thing I could maybe
What
get away with is ETN because I could swap him with Kamara or White. Um, and then I at least have and kind of I guess the same kind of goes. In terms of either Diggs or Chase, I could swap one of them for Kamara or White or even Gus Edwards. My bench
at
is
the end of
stacked.
the day,
I have a
I think
solid
the thing
bench
is
too.
that's my thing. At the end of the day, like you've got the depth to play with. Whereas we look at the other side of this matchup, not a bad week from Jordan, but not a great one. Obviously, taking the L here, Lamar Jackson finally shows up, and then pretty much everybody else middle of the pack. I mean, Puka gave him a decent game with Cooper Cup going down. He got saved by a touchdown there,
He got saved by
but
a cup going down. Yeah.
yeah. So
CD,
I'm looking
solid game
at
for
this.
CD. I mean, average.
Yeah, and I think CD is going to have decent games moving forward. I mean, the Cowboys have such a great schedule.
They do.
If you got anybody on the Cowboys, you're starting them moving
Yep.
forward, probably week 15 or 16. Um, but this is tough, and as much as I wish you would have taken the L here, I'm happy because Jordan losing allowed me to move up in the standings in this one, which just kind of kept, you know, me, Jordan, and Steven just that much closer. So I was happy for that. But I don't know. Like you said last week, we've got division matchups moving forward. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with both yours and Jordan's team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said this last week. I said this was my week for revenge. Against
Yes, you
Jordan.
did.
Um, and I got it. So I'm satisfied. Now I'm on to this week, and I'm getting my fucking revenge on you.
Yeah, well, I hope you keep that swagger about you when you see him in person next week. I want to hear what you guys have to say to each other when we see each other in person.
Hey, we're 1-1 on the season, so I mean, I won the one that needed when I needed it the most. But I mean, to be fair, he won it when he needed it at the beginning of the season. I've obviously bounced back throughout the season after taking. I think at some point throughout the season, I was like 2-3 or 3-2. I was 3-2, yeah, and I was even 3-3. So bouncing back, good on, my end. I'm on a pretty good win streak right now, so I'm gonna keep riding that out.
We're on a 1 game win streak right now. So
Oh shit, yeah, I lost last
yeah.
the week prior. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of another league where I'm like 6 weeks straight, uh, dubs. Yeah,
Well, get your shit straight because we only care about get Sunday covered here. And as far as I'm concerned, you're going down this week, buddy, because you and I get each other.
I'm getting my revenge. You,
Hey, and we play each other in both GSC and the Reaper League as well. So
oh,
double or nothing, buddy.
double down this week? Oh, okay.
We might have to come up with something by the end of this podcast.
For sure, for sure.
Wager City.
Wager City. All right, let's jump into the next matchup. Yourself and One Great Taste. You took
Yes,
him
sir.
down. You took him
Did.
down.
Down goes number one.
Well,
Yes, sir.
now
Called him out.
now you got back to back the week facing the number one.
Yeah, this was a revenge game for me as well. I really needed this win, and I mean I'm glad that I got it, but I do feel like if I'm being honest, was a bit of an outlier for me. Everybody went off, Pollard included.
Yeah,
So
seriously, your team had a hell of a week, and that is, yeah, wow.
yeah, I don't want to go as far as saying that it was lucky, but I needed this one, and the fantasy gods gave me a bit of a push here. Herbert has been playing great despite the record for the Chargers, so I'm going to keep rolling with him. Sometimes I wonder, should I have or should I have not taken the trade offer for Dak Prescott? But right now I'm happy with it. As long as Pollard keeps rolling the way he did last week, I'm okay. Am I confident in it? No. But everybody else, aside from my tight end position, I'm pretty happy. I feel like I've got some decent depth, but honestly, man, I view Ryan's team, One Great Taste, kind of the same way that I do yours. It's pretty stacked. He got kind of screwed with Achan getting hurt
Yeah,
again. He's been waiting to play him, pulled him out. He got screwed, and so did a ton of other fantasy managers with Achan. I know. Actually, shout out Mama T. I just pulled off a trade in our 12-man league with Mama T to get Achan, and that kind of
and you
screwed me
played
as
him.
well.
Yep, I
I
saw
did
that.
not play him. Did I play him?
Yeah, I saw the trade at least since I'm in that league with you, but I
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Um,
necessarily fully played him.
well, as far as this week goes, I definitely lost that trade. But that was kind of the big thing for Ryan. Everybody else showed up for him. Like I said, had this not been a breakout week for pretty much everybody else on my lineup, this is another L for me. So I'm really glad to get this one back from Ryan. He got me earlier in the year, so that kind of brings us even as far as the West goes. Um, but still super tight in the West Division. Moving forward, it's not going to get any easier.
Yeah, it's only gonna get closer and closer, and that who knows who's gonna be in first at the end of this regular season? Because I just want to remind everyone the West is still running through me. I am the reigning West Division champ, so gotta still keep a grasp on that.
Do they give out prizes for that? I
No,
didn't.
but it's okay.
They didn't. They don't, right? No, they don't. So shut up.
All right. Well, West still goes through me. Still got that
Yeah.
one seed on lock.
Yeah. No, yeah. You and Ryan both looking super solid. It's gonna be really interesting. I'm hoping to take you down this next week for sure because we need to bring that a little closer, I think.
Man, if we have three teams, or man, that could shake up everything. That'll be wild. Um, Yeah, I mean, this week you had a hell of a week, so good on you, and thanks for helping me bounce back up in the standings after taking the L last week to Ryan.
Anything I can do for you, buddy?
Appreciate it. All right, let's jump into our next matchup.
This
Jackson's Clowns,
game
Cortland
was
Sutton.
fantastic.
This was a matchup.
This was so fun to watch. Man, Cortland Sutton came this close to pulling this off. And this, you talked about your game coming down to Monday night. This one really, really came down to Monday night. He put up a hell of an effort in this matchup, made a lot of really good decisions with his lineup. And, the Stroud Tank Dell combo was fantastic. And Calvin Ridley finally showed up for this team. So he was looking really, really good. Obviously, with Drax losing Mark Andrews on Thursday night, kind of made it seem like Steven could pull this one off. But the trade that was made week before for Devontae Smith really paid off for Drax in this situation. If you watched Monday Night Football, you know that Devontae Smith had, if I'm not mistaken, probably his best game of the year. And this is what tipped it over the top for him. It came down to literally that player. And man, that was, obviously I'm not rooting for either of these guys, but specifically for Steven because he's in the West. But I was really excited to see him maybe take down Drax as
I
the number
was
one
too.
seed. And damn,
Got so close.
these
Man,
kind of fantasy matchups, man, are so exciting. I don't know if you guys watch the fantasy matchups the same way that Brandon and I do, but like, I don't just watch my team and my scores and things like that, but I watch everybody else in the league. And like, this one was super exciting, man. Like, a lot of points and a lot of back and forth.
yeah, it was a exciting matchup to watch, and it did come down to Monday night. It was exciting to kind of see what was going on, and I kept checking the score of this matchup. Not even mine. I kind of felt, mine was I was down 3 points going into Monday night. I was perfectly fine, but I was watching this one. This one was the one I was keeping my eye on throughout the night.
Yeah. I do have some concerns for Drax moving forward.
Mark
Specifically,
Andrews.
yeah, it was specifically we talked about Mark Andrews. He did pick up Taysom Hill very quickly, which was a quick, smart move. He's got Fields on the bench, so the Kyler Fields stack is good for you, man. Like, pick your matchup with that one. I think they're both going to be great, but I don't know. As good as this team looked in the beginning of the year, uh, I don't know if it's on the same level as the One Great Taste or the Tickle Gritties, if I'm being honest. Elijah Mitchell, Gabe Davis on the bench.
Yeah, it's not anywhere close with myself or Ryan. I mean, the depth is he's got a roster, but he doesn't have the depth.
It's Christian McCaffrey and Keenan Allen that are keeping him afloat, I
Yep.
think. But then I look and he's also 8-3. You know what I mean? So it's like, how are you supposed to talk shit about this team? Like,
No, I agree.
he's
I
got
I
one of the
completely
best
agree.
starting percentages in the entire league. Like, he puts the right players in at the right time. So like, it's hard to bet against him. But
Yeah.
looking at the roster, I'm like, man, Deontay Johnson, James Cook, I don't expect those type of games out of them every single week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think he's got the one seed locked down in the East. He's what now, 2 games ahead in the East?
Yeah.
So he's probably fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine on getting the buy into essentially the money games, but from there, it's gonna be really interesting because if he's playing myself or Ryan in the semis, I mean, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a close matchup, and he's gonna have to hope and pray on that.
I'll say this. I in an ideal situation, I wouldn't want to face him in the playoffs. However, I don't think he's as scary as some of the other teams.
I mean, of the three, myself, Ryan, and Stefan is the one you want to play.
But as we've seen, all it takes is one game, right? I
True.
mean,
Absolutely.
anything can happen. Prime example, he played Steven this week. Steven gave him, he came up short by 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like,
Two
it
and
can
a half.
happen. It can happen.
I agree.
So shout
jump
out
in.
Drax. Good win. And we'll see how it happens in the playoffs for you this year, buddy. Don't come up short.
Can he finally get over the hump is the question.
That is
Third and fourth places every year. Oh, see if maybe he can finally do it. Jump into our next matchup. Bench Low Kill My Vibe. Revenge of the Aints.
how many times is Whitney going to get burned by Aaron Jones? Honestly, this like, I feel bad because if I was the Aaron Jones owner, if he's playing, I'm playing him, right?
Right.
But poor Whitney, dude. What pisses me off even more is I lost to her last week when she put up 155. And this week she puts up literally half of that.
Yeah. Makes it rough. I know the way that goes.
That's so frustrating.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of me looking back at when I played Seamus. Every week since, he's been absolutely astronomically nowhere near. Like I said,
Right.
he'll not throw up another week like that this season.
Yeah, and Bench Don't Kill My Vibe. Yeah, Dak's going to be great moving forward. I'm rolling with him. Like I said earlier, I go back and forth on whether or not
Very
I'm
favorable
happy.
schedule for Dak in Dallas there.
Aaron Jones probably not going to play this week. They've got Thursday, right? Is it Thursday or Friday that they play? Either way, he's
They
not playing.
play tomorrow. Packers usually play. Yeah, they play tomorrow, and I believe they're the morning game against Detroit.
Yeah. AJ Brown, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's his worst game of the year. 1 for
yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 reception for 8 yards.
Yeah.
That's got to be his
Big
worst
bounce
game.
back this week, I think, for AJ Brown.
And you just look at the rest of her lineup, man. She just really got legit let down by everybody. She gets Chris Olave back this next week. Josh Downs also. So obviously, I don't think she's going to put up another 76-point week. But no discredit to Seven. I mean, he put together a good roster. He's got the counterpart to Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon on the other side.
Yep.
I think that's going to really work into his favor moving forward. Obviously, with Aaron Jones missing some time, I think Austin Eckler probably going to have a better game than he had. That's an outlier for him. 6-point game.
Yep.
But this was another one of those games that kind of shook up the standings in the East as well. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna touch on the next matchup that really kind of brought it a little closer in the East. But this one, did we call this the game of the week last week? Seven versus Whitney?
I don't.
I thought it would be closer, but either way,
I don't exactly remember what our game of the week was last week. But
either way, good
yeah.
dub for Seven here. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see moving forward for both of these teams. Like, on paper, we've got good players on their team, but
Yep, agreed. All right, let's jump into our last matchup. Amelia's Army, Hot Chip Time Machine. Joe is making silent moves up to 6-5.
Hey man, we thought that Seamus had an opportunity to play spoiler, and I think Joe took that personally. To hell with that.
He said,
Give me that dub. Give me that
um,
dub. And he showed up, man. This was a good game for him. Um, Burrow going down really hurts him.
yep,
Um, I don't mind Jared Goff as the backup.
nope,
I just don't think he has the upside that a Burrow or a Prescott or somebody in that tier has.
right.
So I think he'll be fine with Goff, but this sucks. Any player attached to Joe Burrow, I'm talking Jamar Chase, like you said, Joe Mixon for me. This is tough. So looking down the rest of it, I feel like an idiot for the shit that I was talking about Saquon Barkley. I don't want a piece of that Giants offense. Even if it is Saquon Barkley, it's going to be ass. Yeah, I feel like
You'll
an
have an
idiot.
outlier week or two, right? With
30
Saquon.
points, bud.
Yeah,
Give me half of that, and I'm happy out of Saquon.
that's very good point. And I mean that's really the difference maker in this matchup is Saquon. Both of them losing a player, throughout this week in terms because Hot Chip Time Machine lost Burrow and then Amelia's Army. I mean, he had
He got
injuries
screwed.
left and right.
He got real screwed this week.
He had Walker, he had Cup, he had it rough.
He did, and I feel bad because
He could
looking,
have played spoiler 100%.
yeah, he had a really good lineup, statistically speaking, and he got hosed in this one. Evans had a good game again, outscoring Stephon Diggs.
Fuck you.
Porta, dud, as far as I'm concerned. 6 points out of Laporta from what he's been putting up. That sucks.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp, that sucks. Is he going to have him back this week? I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt Cup's back for Cup might be done or headed to IR for another 4 weeks.
Buddy, I hope
Yikes.
not. And I have no shares of Cooper Kupp, and I hope that's not the case. Because if he goes back to IR,
That might be curtains.
maybe, honestly. Like, I
Them
don't know if he's
injuries
going to be
can
done
pick
with the
back up.
NFL, but he might be done for fantasy relevance.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
very true.
His
I
age,
mean,
his
at least
injury
going into
history.
next year, people are gonna be like, "Well, you didn't really help me last year. I'm gonna pick him up. If I'm gonna pick him up, I'm gonna pick him up in the ninth or 10th round because he's gonna drop
Yeah.
that much."
But
We'll see.
again, like I said, I just we've given Amelia's Army a really hard time this year, and I just want to take a second to say, like, I have been in this position, and I know that it sucks because I'm looking at it right now. His points against this year are 200
Got the
plus
most. Yeah,
more than anybody else in the league.
100. And Sean Kill My Vibes right behind him with 1460.
That's
108
that's a
point
full week.
difference.
That's a full week of fantasy scoring right
Yep,
there. Like, he's just been beat the heck up.
agreed.
And I mean, that's why we call him Skrillex, right? From first to last. Like, at this point, you're 2 games behind everybody else.
Everyone.
I think he's doing the right thing, just playing not to lose the toilet bowl. But good on Joe this week for pulling it out. He now pulls even with myself and Steeler Virginity at 6-5 for a 3-way tie of fourth place in the league.
Correct. Now
Like
you
you
do
said,
hold
silently
three-way tie for fourth place overall, but
Yeah.
you take the seeding there based off of points for.
Yeah. But he has silently really put it together and put himself in a great position to make something happen in the playoff push.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, well, see, let's just go through the standings real quick since they did shake up once again. In the West, you got myself jumping up to be 7-4 with Ryan. One great taste. We are tied to lead the West,
Who are
and
your
then
points for?
my points for are 16-16. I am
Your points for are like the opposite of what Amelia's Army's points against are. Dude, you are
yeah,
outscoring everybody so bad.
I'm 200 points ahead of everyone.
That's insane.
And it's 190 to be to if you want to get it frank,
And
but
what's even worse
it's
about it
insane.
is you've only had Stephon Diggs for 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks he has given you shit. So you're doing that with everybody else.
Yeah. Um yeah.
You're it's nasty, dude. Your team is nasty.
And yeah, and my depth. I think that's the big thing that's helped me this season is my depth. Which is something that I'm happy I didn't trade away any of my running backs on the year. But continuing on, Cortland Sutton, um, fifth place in the West at 4-7, but still, I mean, he's still in there. He's a game behind from playoffs,
We've
or
got a good lineup too.
so. I mean, he can get there. I guess he would be 2 games behind from playoffs because it would be the top four from the West and then the top two from the East getting into playoffs if playoffs were to start tomorrow.
Right.
Uh, Looking at the East, you have Drax, very comfortable, 8-3,
One ahead again. Yep.
two games ahead. He can afford a loss.
Yeah, he'll be fine, honestly, as long as he doesn't lose all of his games moving out, he's comfortably going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think he won't have any issues. Hot Chip Time Machine, game up in second, um, getting that last playoff spot. I mean, he would be right now the 6th seed, but you know, clearly the West has to play each other and the East has to play each other so things can shake up. And like we've seen it between last week and this week, they shook up once again. The last few weeks they've just consistently shook up, and they'll consistently continue to do that. I think moving forward. Revenge of the Aints right there, nipping at his tail. And I'm sure I believe they play each other again. So I think that'll be all in all fine for them. Bench don't kill my vibe. You know, she's right there. She's clawing her way back, and if she can win these division games coming up, I think she can be in that talk for that 6th seed. I think that's really what she can get. Is really going to be
Definitely
that
possible for sure.
6th seed, but I think it's within reach. She would be 100 points back right now, from that 5 seed, which would be Jordan at the moment. And then obviously you have Amelia's Army and dead last. Sorry, buddy, but you're not making playoffs this year. You have no title to defend. The only title you're going for is the Toilet Bowl.
And to be honest with you, like I'm kind of excited about that to see, even he said this, a couple weeks ago, like I'm just playing not to get last. I'll tell you what, like I'm fully planning on being in the championship. At least I want to be. But if I'm not, that's going to be the matchup that I'm watching to see if he can keep himself out of king shit.
Out of humiliation.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. He has the lineup to stay out of last place, but with the way it's gone, dude, the bottom bracket is going to be just as entertaining as the top bracket is.
100%. Yeah, it's going to be entertaining. I mean, the bottom bracket is going to be fun to watch just because of seeing who is getting humiliated next year when we're in Vegas. And that's something that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I want to see someone in some funny ass costume or some dress or, tutu walking down the
Yep.
street.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Um, Guys, don't forget we are still planning that Vegas trip. So if you haven't voted on everything, we narrowed it down. We're going in June. So let's pick a date. Let's make it happen because time is moving quickly.
Mama T, she commented in here a little bit earlier. I was waiting until we kind of got through the weekly recap to go over this. So she said she's feeling pretty weak in the tight end position, but not wanting to let anyone go. Any suggestions on who to look at? Um, right now, I would say two tight ends that I'd be looking at, depending on what league you're in and if they're available. I like Likely taking Andrew's spot. If he's available, I'd probably pick him up as my number one pick. But I wouldn't mind K Dot in either. I think he's a solid option as well.
Yeah, she's just yeah, that's a really good call. That's the two best available in the league that she's talking about. I'm looking at it now. She's talking about that 12 team league that you're actually in also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Isaiah Likely for sure. If you get the chance to put in for him, he's just going to have the best opportunity. But even outside of that, I would say tight end is probably not your biggest concern right now. You should look at the rest of your lineup and probably put in some of your other guys as well. But she's got Fryermuth on there. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't. Kenny Pickett's trash, man. With Matt Canada leaving, I don't know if that's really going to change much in the Pittsburgh offense, but shoot
Right.
for Isaiah if you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, all in all, I think those are really the best pickups at the moment from that aspect.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump
Week
into
12, man. We're getting there. This is,
we're buzzing.
I can't believe it. It's been 12 weeks already. That
Yeah.
means we've done 12 episodes of this, plus our player exclusives.
Yeah,
Do you
we've
feel like it's getting easier, like it's coming more naturally for you?
yeah, I definitely think everything with the podcast is kind of grown. Shout out. I see nobody's podcast in here. Yeah, he said Likely is a good tight end pickup. And we've all been there in fantasy. So I see you in the chat. But yeah, I mean, well, all in all, I think as this pod grows, and with what we have down the line, it's only going to get better. I think our overall kind of collaboration on this and putting it, to fruition has been massively beneficial. And I quite frankly wouldn't really want to do this with anyone else, Cody. I feel like you and we have a really strong
Oh,
balance.
buddy.
But I mean, we've
No, I
talked
agree.
about this before. We talked about this when we were living together about starting a pod, and at the time it was kind of funny because you were going to the library to do podcasts. And now, we kind of got the full setup ourselves and we're able to just kind of manage it remotely, which is nice.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I think, even if it's just for fun, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, this is not as official as some of the other podcasts you could watch or listen to. So,
Just wait though.
we thank all of you guys and trust that, you know, things are on the up and up. And what I would tell you is that this is it's a really fun experience. So we're excited to bring some new things. Specifically in the next week or so, we're going to do some fun things also. But stay tuned.
Ooh.
We keep saying it. Stay tuned for the end of the season. Uh, we've got some strides that we're going to make in the off season, and I think next year 10 of Get Sunday Covered is going to be one that you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah. Let's just say next week it is going to be guns blazing.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. We are cooking up something special for y'all come next week. So be sure to keep your eyes out. Cuz it's going to be fun. I'm pretty thrilled. Um yeah, man. I'm pretty excited for next week.
You like Fireball, Brandon?
No,
You sure?
I fucking hate Fireball. I'm good off that shit, bro.
We'll have to work on that then for next week.
I can't drink, bro. I gotta drive.
Fair enough. Well, let's burn through this week 12 preview, and then we'll get this wrapped up so everybody can enjoy their Thanksgiving. What do you say?
I am with it. Nobody's podcast said y'all got to get me on it as a guest here. He's on a 5-week winning streak in his fantasy league. I'm curious to see what his roster is.
Let's go. 5 in a row, buddy. Let's go, man. That's
That's a solid right there.
impressive. That's impressive.
What's your
Let me
overall
get
record? Drop that in the chat. Let us know. But yeah, let's jump into this week. In terms of matchups, I am freaking thrilled. This is a revenge week for me. I already know I'm taking myself before I even
showdown.
look at this.
Podcast showdown.
But let's jump into it. Touchdown there. Take over Gritties.
Hit me. What do you got, big guy? How you feeling?
I'm beyond confident right now. I'm going to be more than okay with this week. Yeah, I mean, I think both of us. I'm curious to see what both of us do in terms of Cincinnati players. I'm curious to see if you swap yours out.
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't listening to what you were saying because I don't care because I'm going to beat you. But what I will say is that I'm very nervous about my team right now. I'll take it from the top. Herbert versus Baltimore. Not stoked. Tyreek Hill versus the Jets. Not stoked. Thomas versus Dallas. Not stoked. I'm nervous, buddy. I'm really nervous. This is I'm obviously going to vote for myself here,
Right.
but I'm going to need some more love from the fantasy gods this week to pull this off.
Yeah. Let's just jump over to mine. Hurts, Swift, playing Buffalo. I feel okay with that. ETN playing Houston. I feel like that's a good bounce back week for him. Amon-Ra,
That's a
solid.
division matchup there. Houston Jacksonville. That'll be a good game to watch.
Yep. I think Amon-Ra, I'm pretty confident that's another 20 burger there. Diggs, I worry about Diggs. Kincaid, I feel more confident in right now than Diggs. Kincaid's been a stud the last few weeks since Knox
You keep
got
both of them
hurt.
in. You stack those Buffalo players again.
I did it last week. It paid off. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this week. Dude, I'm telling you now. I'm debating on playing
Kamara
Chase.
on the bench. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I have Kamara on the bench. I'm probably gonna take out Chase or Diggs, and I'm gonna put in Kamara. I'm being blatantly honest.
Yeah.
I think one of them are coming out, and it's more than likely probably gonna be Chase, just because he's playing with a backup, and I need him to prove himself for a week. Diggs, I'll stick with Diggs. I made the trade. I might as well play him.
Goddamn right, Seamus.
But then again, I could just say screw it. Yeah, I don't know. Because you got to look at my bench too. I still have Rashad White. I've Gus Edwards, man. I have so much depth here that I really don't know. I haven't really looked at my lineup because I know majority of kind of stuff that I'm planning on is going to be more Sunday. Like I know I set my Thursday players, which are Monra and Kittle. I know they're playing tomorrow. They're in my roster. They're in my lineup this week. Everyone else, total freaking toss up.
Don't care. TLDR.
My revenge week. That's all I'll say. All right.
Yep.
Nobody's podcast. Hell yeah. Started out 1-5 and he's 6-5 now. Way to go. Way to bounce back.
Let's go, dude. That's why you don't give up, people.
That's
That's what
that's
I'm
why you
talking
make some
about.
moves. That's
Go
that's
back
why you
and,
stick
and
it out.
listen to go back and listen to our player exclusive with Steeler Virginity. He talks about that, how him and Cortland Sutton both started out like 1-4, 1-5, and that was the year that Steeler Virginity won it. So don't give up, man. Keep playing. Like that's badass. Good for you.
You'd be in the running for our league for playoffs right now. So keep it up.
Yes, sir.
I hope it's the same for you and your league. Um, jump into our next matchup. One great taste, Cortland Sutton. Um,
Nice little OG GSC member matchup here.
yeah, I mean this is gonna be a fun one to watch. This honestly, I I think this week, as much as I would love to see Cortland Sutton pull out another dub, pull out another one, and give one great taste to L. I would
Oh, I hope he
love to
does.
see it.
I hope he does. Because we're both 2 games. Well, I'm 2 games ahead of him. You're 3 games ahead. So yeah, let's take Brian down.
We're pulling for you, Steven. That's
We
all.
are. We are. I like Ryan's lineup. He's got a really juicy matchup with the Mahomes and Kelsey stack.
Yep.
And Devonta Adams, I don't, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I'd rather
Playing
get
Kansas City. I don't know.
Achan's going to come out of the lineup because I don't think he's going to play. So I'm sure we're going to see Brian Robinson back up in there. Like if you got Brian Robinson, play him. If he's on your roster, play him right
Against
now.
Dallas?
Absolutely, absolutely, play him.
Yeah, I mean they lost Van Der Esch. Takes out an inside, but
Shout out Boise State.
yeah, whatever. You freaking
But
all liquor.
I don't know, man. It's
I would much rather, if I'm looking at his bench, I would much rather prefer playing either D Hop or Godwin over Chain. Well, Chain's hurt anyway, but
I would say I bet he doesn't
that's
even
who
play
I
this.
would play. I would play them over Robinson. I'd probably take, to be fair, I'd probably take D Hop.
Agree to disagree, I suppose.
Nobody's podcast says play Robinson.
Yeah, exactly. See, he's listening. He
But
knows what he listens to he listens to the actual analysts.
I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I don't know, man. I just think Dallas's D is still stacked. A run game on them is pretty tough, but it might be good for him to get some receptions and stuff like that. That might be what Hal and him work out.
So if you look at Cortland Sutton, how do you feel about Calvin Ridley? Is he going to have another decent game against Houston, or is it back to the Kirk show?
Oh, well, here's the thing. He's got 3 players in that game. Just that one game, he's
Stroud, Ridley, and Tank Dell.
yeah, he's got that Stroud Dell stack, which I would continue to play. I have that stack in another league and just keep rolling. That is
You
such
know
a
what's
stack right now.
awesome for Cortland Sutton is he can keep Tank Dell at the end of this year if he keeps him.
Yeah, stud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, all in all, I mean, really looking at, I don't think Calvin Ridley throws up another 30 piece, but I think he can
No,
throw up 15 points, half of that. But who knows? Is T. Higgins going to be back?
doesn't matter. Not with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, true.
I'd rather play JSN than
I was
T.
going to say,
Higgins,
would you rather toss in JSN? But
even if it's
it's
against
San
San Francisco. I don't
Francisco.
care. I
Mm,
don't care.
division matchup at least, right? So those are always solid matchups, solid
Yeah.
games. Yeah, I don't know.
This is gonna be
This is a
close.
toss up. It's going to be a good matchup for sure.
I am gonna give the dub to One Great Taste, even though Steven, if you're listening, I'm pulling for you, dog.
That's kind of where I'm at as well. Um, I'm exactly there with you. I'm pulling for him, but in terms of our pick'ems, I'm taking one great taste.
Same.
Jump into our next matchup. Uh, only non-division game this week. Amelia's Army, Steeler Virginity. I don't even want to
Is it
waste my
just me, or
time.
do I
This is a
feel like
given. Steeler
is there a
Virginity
little
is
bit
winning.
of extracurricular behind this matchup? Like I feel like this one might be personal. Is that just me? Am I speaking out of turn here?
Oh no, you're 100% right there. I mean, these
Like
two.
there's a couple of things that are gonna change um with Amelia's Army's lineup. Ken Walker obviously not going to be in there. I would imagine. I'm guessing that Cooper Cup is probably not going to play.
Yeah,
Even if he does, I still think Steeler Virginity's got this one. It's just tough. You know what I mean? Like we've seen it week after week after week. Amelia's Army puts together a good enough lineup, and the person he's playing just goes off. And I think that's going to be kind of the story here. Lamar Jackson against the Chargers. Hell yeah, I'll take that. Derrick Henry against Carolina. Absolutely. Say less. Puka against Arizona. Give me more. You know what I mean? There's not a lot like you said, there's not too much to say about this. Like that's a dub for Steeler Virginity, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, Walker's probably not going to play tomorrow. He's doubtful. Cooper Cup, I think he's out. And what you're going to put in Douglas? You're going to put in Ramondre for Cup, and then
Use some of that fab that you traded for to go pick up, I don't know, Tyler Boyd, Elijah Moore, maybe.
I would still avoid
It's not gonna matter.
Boyd because backup situation.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Like
it's not gonna make a difference.
it doesn't. I'm yeah. I mean, don't make a difference here. I think Mostert this week, obviously with the off chain last week. I think if Miami's smart, they give him the rest. Roll with it in a division game where you're gonna need your big players. I don't think you take the risk on off chain and
If
just play
CeeDee Lamb
Mostert.
had another 40-point week, he could.
Good. I wouldn't.
He
I'm
definitely could.
yeah.
I hope it goes to Pollard instead, but CeeDee Lamb can go off, man. Is CeeDee Lamb injured? Did I hear something about him like maybe being injured?
I haven't seen anything about that.
The latest news here says he's good to go for week 12. So
Nobody's podcast. What happens with Dell if Noah Brown is healthy? I'd still play Tank Dell.
nothing. Play Tank Dell.
I think Tank Dell has more upside than Noah Brown.
And it doesn't matter. Like the Texans offense right now,
They're throwing the ball.
if you got them, play them. Singletary, Dell, Noah Brown, Schultz, play them all.
Yep. All right. Jump into our next matchup, I guess. Bench don't kill my vibe. Hot Chub Time Machine. Ooh. What does she have on the bench? Okay.
Here's
She
another opportunity to be a spoiler. Whitney, make it happen. Aaron Jones is not going to be in her lineup.
she also has AJ Brown on her bench.
Why?
What in the world? Probably because of the last week.
Why? Why? No, no, don't do that.
Nope.
I will personally call her and tell her not to do that. Hopefully that's not the final lineup here. I think this will be a good one. This is an in division matchup and one that bench don't kill my vibe really needs. But Hot Tub Time Machine is quietly on a heater right now. You talked about it earlier. Like he's making it happen, dude. And I love to see it because we talked about his team earlier in the season. He had the pieces to make it happen, and he's managed the shit out of this team.
Yeah, 100%.
He's gone through players getting hurt. JJ went down, made some trades, made some additions on the waiver wire. 6-5, tied for fourth place.
Yep.
Like, let's go, Joe. Hats off, dude. Good for you. Like, well done. Whitney,
Props.
spoil the shit out of that. Take everything that I said and throw it on the ground, spit on it, and then stomp on it. Because I want to see some spoilers, man.
I agree.
But I'm not going to vote for it.
Completely
I'm
agree.
going to touch up Time Machine.
Yeah. All right.
If I'm being honest, like I like both of these teams, and I think the projections in this matchup should be closer. I'm going Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, that's where I'm going as well. Let me pull up this next matchup. I will be right back real quick. I just gotta check on something.
No
I
worries.
just
I'll
gotta
jump
check on the kiddo. You run it down.
Yeah, you got it. Drax them Sklounce, currently number 1 in the league. My guy, you're setting yourself up for another one of those situations where you get right up there and you might come up short again. Is that the case? Maybe. We shall see. Nice little matchup in division this week against 7, aka Revenge of the Aints. I like it here. We touched on it a little bit earlier. Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, both on your team. Not a bad quarterback combo. Plus, Christian McCaffrey is always going to give you a nice little baseline here. So
Agreed.
I don't know. I think we talked enough about this roster earlier that I like it, and clearly he's going to make his way into the playoffs.
Yep.
But Revenge of the Aints is one of those teams. I feel like the East is full of these teams that have the opportunity to do something that's, I guess, unexpected or unprecedented. And I really like the way it's looking right now. Projections currently have it pretty close, but they're favoring 7.
Revenge of the Aints.
I don't know if I'm going to ride with that. Tough matchup for AJ Dillon. Austin Eckler coming off of a bad week into a rough matchup. I don't love that either. However, I think this one's going to be close. I think the projections have it.
This is my
Pretty
matchup of the week right here. This
I would agree.
matchup and mine and yours. I mean, obviously there's a lot at stake with ours, but I think this one has just as much in terms because 7 can gain another game back on Drax. And to be fair, if Joe wins, that just even closes the gap to 1 game in that division for between second or first and second.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, obviously he doesn't want to lose, but Drax doesn't have a ton to lose in this matchup. So even if he drops this one, it's not going to make a huge difference.
Right.
So there's a lot to gain for 7. And if he gets the right start sit combination in this, like I would imagine Jonathan Taylor comes in for probably AJ Dillon.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so.
If, if he
Um,
gets this start
I would
sit
also think
correct,
I
I
also
think
think
he could win
that,
this matchup.
yeah, and I also think that Drax, after the week Devontae just had, I'm thinking Devontae is probably back in this lineup. But here's
You
the question.
play,
Here's the
so
question, I guess. Do you play Gabe Davis or do you play Devontae?
here, okay, so I was thinking about this earlier in the week when I was writing the doc for this podcast. I'm getting to the point to where I feel very similarly about Gabe Davis, the same way that I do about Najee Harris, which sucks because I like Gabe Davis as a player, but I don't want to deal with him on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I had him last year. Um, and I was gonna get him this year, and Stefan picked him up right before I did. Because he was my next pick, and Stefan got him. But I
So
am
if
glad
it
to
were
have
you,
avoided that. Because Gabe Davis has been hot garbage this year. To be fair, I don't really like
sure.
Gabe Davis this year.
But with that being said, so has Devonta Smith. Aside from last week, you've been largely disappointed with Devonta Smith.
Yeah,
So if it were you, this is the same game we're talking about. Would you play Gabe Davis versus Philly or Devonta Smith versus Buffalo if it were
I
you?
I think such a toss up. I think just rolling off of everything, I think I play Devontae. I know the ball's going to go to Brown, but I know Devontae is going to get his fair share as well.
I I think I agree. I don't
Let
I
us
don't
know
know,
what you
man.
guys think in the comments.
Yeah,
Nobody's podcast says Devontae Smith versus Buffalo is his play. So I think
I
we're all kind of in the same boat
you
right
guys
now.
are right. I really do. But it's like if Davis hits, man, it's like roulette with Davis.
It is. It's 100% roulette with Davis. At least with, I feel like with the Smith, you have a little bit more kind of consistency it versus Davis. Um, but like you
Either
said,
way,
both
I think
it's
this
really a toss up.
I think this matchup is going to be very close, just the way that the projections have it. And I don't know who to vote for in it. I kind of want to take Revenge of the Aints here.
That's where I'm at. I like Revenge of the
Game,
Games in
game
this
back.
matchup.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the projections and take Revenge of the Aints.
Yeah. So we only have one game that's different this week, which is ours, obviously. But yeah. So we'll see how we play out. Last week, to recap, last week I went 4-5, and Cody went 3-5. Overall, that puts us on the season. Cody has 24 wins with 21 losses. I have 26 wins with 19 losses. So I gained another game on you in terms of those on the week. Um, so yeah, I mean, we'll kind of see how things shake out, um, progressing into the next week.
I thought I was going to get closer to you in this week, man. Didn't work.
Clearly, screwed yourself.
Yeah, it tends to happen. But not only did you get lucky with our pick'ems, but if memory serves me correctly, you did pretty good with some parlays this weekend. Is that true?
I'm on a heater. I am on a NBA heater right now. Been sharing those in the chat and shoot. I mean, Sunday, 700 profit. Yesterday or Monday, 300 profit.
Oh, let's go. How much of that are you giving to GSC?
None, because GSC is giving me money this year, baby.
That's right.
And then yesterday, pretty even, lost $12. I'll take that all day. And that is an even draw in my eyes. So
You're
uh
up basically 7 bills on the weekend.
yeah. I was pretty thrilled. I had a rough Friday.
Damn.
Rough Friday, lost 160. Saturday, gained it right back. So that was a start to my weekend. And then Sunday, I was on a heater. Monday, I was on another one, and I was feeling it, man. Would have been in the profit yesterday, had I not took one last minute bet. But it's okay. Um, I kind of $12 in my eyes. That's a very even draw. And then today I haven't really looked. Last I looked, I was down about 200. Um, but I mean, after the heater I'm on, I'm okay losing that and gaining it right back down the line this week. Um, like I said, I mean, it's betting and you win some, you lose some, but right now I'm on a pretty good streak and pretty sure I just won another $200 because I just got the notification. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'll take that.
But going into that, let's jump into. I got two plays right now for tomorrow. Um, but I might have a couple that are not placed yet, but I can bet I can I can say them in terms. So jumping into here, let's roll with it. So Brandon's bets of the week. Got a nice little parlay for tomorrow. This is my Turkey Day parlay. Um, $10 turns it into $386.81. What I am taking this week is Amon Ra over 100 receiving yards, CD over 100, and then Kittle over 60, and then CMC and Kittle both scoring touchdowns. Really like this play. Think it's going to work out. If you want to tail that, go ahead. And then in terms for the week, fully got a Hail Mary parlay here, 12 legger, straight money lines down the scope. I like Detroit. I like Dallas, San Francisco tomorrow. You could just take them three outright tomorrow as well. Miami on Sunday, or Miami actually on Friday. Wow. And then Sunday, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay. I think they'll beat the Colts as an underdog there. Like the Rams, I like the Chiefs. I like the over under in the Bills Eagles. I'm going to take the over. I think that's going to be a shootout. And then Baltimore and Minnesota. $10 there. Profits $1,355.13.
Listen, guys, if you're interested in sports betting at all, maybe take notes because this guy is cleaning up right now.
Cleaning up in NBA. I'm doing all right in NFL. I'm about $200 on Sunday were from NFL, and then another 50 on Monday. But really cleaning up in NBA right now, and I've been sharing those in the group. I mean, you saw the chat the other day. I actually cleaned house with an NHL bet. Nice little 7-legger.
Yes,
So
sir.
that was pretty sweet. But yeah, I mean, I'm on a roll right now. I'm heating up, and at some point that's gonna come down. But like today, I'm down, but I bounce right back.
That's right.
Just like I did on Friday, I was down and bounced right back on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, good shit, man. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of this podcast. We really appreciate it. Everybody that tuned in on the live feed, and that was a lot of fun. We just want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy your family, enjoy some good food. As always, drop your comments and questions and things down below. We want to hear from you. We want to, take this to the next level and have some more exciting things to talk about. So let us know what's up. We've got a lot of fantasy football left to play. So you're going to hear from us more moving forward.
I really like this live stream idea that we did tonight. I think it worked out because obviously I felt posting it tomorrow would have been a little bit more rough.
Everybody's busy.
If everyone's busy, I figured let's just live stream it tonight. That way, if people wanted to stay tuned, they could tune in and be able to watch right away with us as we're going through it. So a little fun idea, and we know how to work it for things down the line, which leads me to kind of down the line possibly stardom situms. Ooh.
Yeah, if you guys be down for some stardom situm questions, let us know. Be happy to jump on and do a quick little half hour, 45-minute sesh. Stardom situm.
Stardom situm. Cash app right to us. Cash app donate dollars.
You're in 6 leagues, right?
Yeah.
I'm in 5, so we've got most of the players covered. So we'll let you guys know who we're playing. Let us know who you're playing.
I went 5-1 on the weekend again. Damn, 7 keeps spoiling my undefeated weeks in that damn Reaper League.
I went 3-2.
I'm rolling right now. I'm in playoffs in most of my leagues. I think all but one right now. So pretty confident with the rosters I got. I know you and I made a trade in another league.
You did? I needed it. I lost Mark Andrews, so.
And you got Kincaid out of it.
Kincaid.
And I picked up White. So not bad. But I've been rolling with White this year. So all right, guys. Well, that'll do it for the Get Sunday Covered podcast this week. Drop a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to hit us up to always get your guys' Sundays covered. We will see you next week. And we have a special video next week as well.
Yes,
so
sir.
Stay tuned. Follow us on socials if you haven't already at Get Sunday Covered. Peace.
Take care.